Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So in the last class, we saw the 5 sheets, the Panchakoshas in Sanskrit, and we ended with Anandamaya Kosha. And the teacher concluded Etat Kosha Panchakam. He says these are the 5 koshas. Okay, so we started with the Annamaya Kosha, the Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and then we ended with the Anandamaya Kosha. And now he's slowly entering into the topic of Atma. So until now we saw what is called Anatma, which is the non-self, and we saw it from different angles. So we saw the 3 bodies, the physical body, the subtle body, and the causal body. And then we saw the 3 states of experience that we go through, the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. And then we saw the 5 koshas, the 5 sheets, right? Now we are entering into a different topic. Then he says, Madiyam Shariram Madiyaha Pranaha Madiyam Manascha Madiya Buddhihi. So what he says is, we say, this is my body, this is the vital airs, the pranas, the different airs, and Madiyam Manaha, this is my mind, this is my buddhi. So these are the 5 koshas, really, if you think about it. Madiyam Shariram is the Annamaya Kosha, the body, right? Madiyam Pranaha, the Pranamaya Kosha. And then Madiyam Manaha, the Manomaya Kosha. Madiyam Buddhihi, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And then Madiyam Ajnanamiti, this is my ignorance. This would be the Anandamaya Kosha. But then you get the realization that Swenaiva Nyayate Tadyatha Madhiyatvena Nyatam Kataka, and he gives an example, Kataka Kundala Grihadikam Swasmat Bhinnam Tatha Panchakoshadikam Madhiyatvena Nyatam Atmana Bhavati. Okay, so what that means is, so I say these are my earrings, this is my necklace, or this is my bangle, I say those kinds of things. And I know clearly that I'm not any of these things. So I can never be my earrings, because that is something that belongs to me. I can never be the bangle, because it's something that belongs to me. Similarly, when I say this is my body, then what should you immediately think? That this is my body, it's something that belongs to me, therefore it's not me. Right? So it's exactly like that. So how a bangle is not myself, it's something that belongs to me. This body is also something that belongs to me, it's not myself. But oftentimes we mistake it for myself. That's when everything that happens to the body happens to me. Then I'm always in a state of being well and not well. Right? Because I'm identified with the body. I'm taking the body as myself. So that's when that creates a lot of problems. But we should clearly understand that just like I'm wearing clothes, but I'm not the clothes. Right? Similarly, I'm wearing this body, I'm not the body. We should get that clear understanding. This is the difficult part. It's easy to tell, okay, this is just my bangle. It's not me. It's very easy to understand. But to understand that the body is not me is very difficult. That's something that we need to concentrate on, focus on, and it should reflect in our actions, in our behavior. So when we act as if this body is not mine, because we know clearly that this body is not me. Okay? It's something that belongs to me. I said it's not mine. It is mine, right? It belongs to me, but it's not me. So we need to, it should reflect in every action that we perform. So there's we don't have this concern for this body, Otherwise we have this intense concern for this body. Oh, what will happen to this body? I need to protect this body. I need to pamper this body. All of that comes from the misunderstanding that I am the body. Does that make sense?
It does, but a bangle doesn't cause pain, or doesn't experience. We don't experience the pain that a bangle would experience, right? We don't experience the pain that the clothing that the body wears might go through. You know, when you cut fabric, you know, the fabric doesn't scream out, "Ow, it hurts."
I know.
When you cut skin.
Yes, I understand. That's a good question. But then again, a child was playing a video game. And then in the video game, the identification can cause that. So you're identified as that, the body in the video game, and when the body in the video game gets hurt, the child goes, "Ow." Right? So that's because of the identification. So suppose you were to identify with this bangle, then something happens to that bangle, it'll hurt you. Suppose it's a diamond bangle, all right? It's made of diamonds, studded with diamonds. And if something happens, if there's a scratch on it, then it will hurt you if you think about it, all right? So yeah, but then there is this feeling that this body is more close to me than the bangle is, right? There is that feeling is there. That is because of conditioning. It's only because of conditioning. And the example again is the dream. In dream, your body hurts and you go, "Ow," right? And you feel the pain too. So the body doesn't have to be real, and it doesn't have to be you for you to feel the pain. Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be you, but it'll cost me that. So all the more reason for us to know that it is not me and get detached from it. And it is possible to do. Suppose you practice this truth, right, which is the fact that I'm not the body. You practice that as the truth. Then what happens is, if something happens to the body, suddenly you're okay with it. You're not affected by it. You come to that state. There are yogis who meditate in the snow without any clothing, and they can stay there and it doesn't bother them. So whatever happens to the body, it doesn't happen to them, because they've created a distance between I, the self, and the body. The body is something that belongs to me, and what happens to the body doesn't happen to me. Clear understanding. And then it can manifest as your experience as well. And again, there are other yogis who go through a surgery without anesthesia, because they can completely be detached from that body. And so the pain doesn't affect them as much. All of these things are possible, okay? So it is possible. In the beginning, it's very difficult to accept and understand and feel that this can be, experienced, but it can be. It just comes with a little practice, okay? And that's what the meditations are for. In meditation, you learn to see that the body is other than you. The mind is other than you. All these koshas. Shariram is my shariram. Shariram means the body. Body is my body. The pranas, the different pranas that are there, are my pranas. They belong to me. They are not me. And mind belongs to me. If you have the clear understanding that mind belongs to me, you can use it as a powerful tool. It becomes a powerful tool now. You can use it to achieve great things. And of course, that is not your goal. It may not be your goal, but you will end up achieving amazing things with this mind, instead of being pulled in many directions. That is a weak mind. A weak mind is a mind which you identify with, and then now you're a slave to it. We always talk about addictions, right? We talked about it even in the last satsang. That addictions are of a weak mind, and a mind which is being identified with. If you clearly know that the mind is not me, then right then and there you'll have a gained control over that mind. Okay? And it's not going to pull you in all these opposite directions. And then ajnanam, I have ignorance in me. That is also seen by you, actually. So you see the knowledge in yourself, right, in your intellect, and you also see the ignorance in your intellect. Isn't that something? To be able to know that there is ignorance, that is an amazing thing, isn't it? To know What is there is not a big deal, really. But to know what is not there, that is a unique knowledge. And that is only possible because you're the self, you're the witness. You witness everything. There isn't anything that is outside of you, outside of what you can witness, okay? So that is powerful. And so when you clearly know that these are not me, these sheaths belong to me and they are not me, okay? That is the knowledge we're talking about. They will never be the Atma. So we listed the different things, right? There's Thula Shariram, the physical body, and there are many parts in this body, right? We saw all of that. And then we put them aside as Anatma, the non-self. And then we saw the mind, and we saw the 17 different parts in it. And then we set them aside as Anatma. But did you ever come across Atma as listed among all of these things that we saw so far? We did not come across Atma. We have only seen Anatma so far. Okay? So none of these, so what the Acharya is saying here is that none of these things that we listed so far are Atma. Atma na bhavati. Okay? But then you have to have this clear understanding that none of these are me. They belong to me, but they are not me. We have to understand that. And we will come to a stage where we come to know that they are also not mine. You know? Right now, for now, we say that these belong to me, and then I am something other than that. Okay? But when we continue studying Vedanta, we'll come to a point that they are not only not me, they don't belong to me either. It's part of the nature. And the nature is just an appearance. It appears without really being there. So all of these things just appear, just like in the dream, a dream body appears without really being there. And it goes through all of these experiences, painful as well as pleasurable. And then you know that it is not you, and it was not even there. It's not yours. It wasn't even there, right? The entire dream person is negated as unreal. Similarly, you would be able to negate this waking person, Vishwa, also as unreal. Okay? And it never existed. Let's go to the next verse. So the student is like, Atma tarhi kaha. So what is this Atma? We have only all of these things that I'm familiar with, and I'm used to identifying with and taking them as myself, right? I take this body as myself because when I have a headache, I say, I'm in pain. I'm in pain. I'm not saying my head is in pain. I say, I'm in pain. So this is because I'm identifying with it, right? And then I say, I'm sad. When I notice there's sadness in the mind, I'm the witness of that sadness in the mind, but then I end up saying, I'm sad, right? This is identification. Instantaneously, we just instinctively just identify with it and say, I take that as myself. So this is what the student is accustomed to doing. Then he goes, what is this Atma? What is this demon or whatever, you know? What is this entity called Atma? Something that I never knew before. I never thought about this before. I've only known the body, the mind, the emotions in the mind. I've known my intellect. I know what I know what I don't know. I've known all of these things, but I never thought about something other than that, which is supposed to be me. Atma means the self. Self means myself, right? So then what is this self? He's asking. Now he's coming. This is the question that we all need to ask, right? We sometimes ask that at some point in our lives. What is this world? Why is it the way it is? You know, I feel that there is pleasure in it, but as I go and interact with it, I get pain instead. What is this world that I'm facing and I'm experiencing every day? And who am I? What is my purpose in this world? We ask these questions, right? We ask that. Sometimes we ask our parents, and since they don't know the answer themselves, and they would say, "No, you're not supposed to ask these questions." They do that in India. They do. Why you're not supposed to ask these questions? You just believe. They may have a set of beliefs. They want to just transfer that over to you, and that's it. They don't want you to ask any questions about it because they don't know the answer themselves a lot of the time, right? So then what happens is we stop asking those questions after a while. We condition ourselves and we take on these beliefs. We just inherit them. So these are all inherited thought patterns. So we are programmed to thinking in a certain way. And we continue to think in those terms. We never question any of it. We forget to question it. We become numb to all of this. We stop questioning it. Okay, and then what we do is we have children of our own, and then we to let them inherit these thought patterns, these these old thought patterns. We let them inherit. That's what we do. Okay, we don't teach them how to think. We teach them what to think, because we are giving them this set of ideas and concepts that we have formed, and we are so sure that this is the truth, and then we hand them over to our children. And then we go on. So this is what happens. But then the teacher has made a profound statement that everything that you know, everything that you took yourself to be, everything that you've experienced, all of that is now dismissed as anatma. In the earlier verse, right? He dismissed everything as anatma. And so this student is now completely flabbergasted, and he goes, hey, then what is this atma? He asks. Okay. And what kind of a question is it? Is it possible to answer this question? It is impossible to answer this question. That is the kind of a question he's asked. Why is it impossible? Because this Atma that we've never experienced before, that is unlimited. There's no limit to it whatsoever. And then, so how are you going to answer it? If you try to answer this question, you're going to have to use words and sentences. All these words and sentences are limited in nature. So how can you use these limited words and sentences to describe something that is unlimited? It is impossible. It is impossible to answer this question. Yet the student has asked this question. And what is the teacher going to do? He has to answer this question, right? So he answers it. And what does he say? He says, Satchidananda Swarupaha. Sat, Chit, and Ananda. This is the nature of the self, he says. What does that mean? Sat. Sat means what? Means existence, absolute. That is the nature of the Atma. Existence, absolute. What is that? I didn't know. That's my nature? Really? How come? How can that be my nature? Right? And then Chit. Chit is awareness, absolute. That's my nature. I mean, I never knew of this. I never ever thought about that before. And that's my nature? Really? How? And then Ananda Swarupa. Ananda is bliss. It's not just mere happiness. Happiness has an opposite. Right? Unhappy. We are happy, unhappy. Happy, unhappy. These are the opposites. But bliss has no opposite. It is a continuous ananda. It is joy. And that's my nature. How come? I thought I'm like at the verge of unhappiness all the time, right? So even if I'm happy, I'm always at the verge of being very sad. I know that it is going to hit me. As even I'm happy, right? That's what I thought. My nature is bliss? How is that possible? So you can't accept it, right? It's impossible to accept. I'm the very existence principle. I'm the very consciousness principle, right? And I am the bliss itself. That is the nature of the self. That's the teacher's answer, okay? So, let's look at that. So, Atma. What is Atma? Atma is not a guna, a property of the body, a quality of this body-mind complex that I take myself to be. Okay? Atma is something other than that. It's not a quality. Quality means what? The height of the body may be seen as a quality, right? Height, weight, the complexion, the color of the eye, color of the hair, all of these things are qualities. Is Atma one such quality of the body? No, it's not. Is Atma then a product of the body? or a part of the body. Like I have arms, legs, right? And eyes and nose and ears. Is Atma one such part of the body? No, it's not.